Hit the wrong button. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I am your host, Axel1324.
And I am coolcatterri.
And we have a super duper special guest with us this morning, Fastback. Say hello to the chat, Fastback.
Yo, and I'm Fastback 6768, which I put my name wrong in the deal.
Did you really?
Got too many numbers.
Oh, no. What's it supposed
But
to be?
awesome to be here. Thank y'all for having me here. So,
Yeah.
you know what? I know why you invited me, Axel, because you were tired of reading all my chats. So you're like, you know what? Let's get you on a panel so it can be a little bit quicker.
No, that's not why I invited you. I invited
No,
you
I
because
know.
we're friends. Yeah. Guys, of course, Dreadpool is feeling under the weather. So hopefully he and his family will start to feel better soon. I know they're all down because Death Dealer was also down on Friday. So, yeah, they are not feeling good. So, shout out to them. Hopefully they feel better. I myself am getting over a sickness, so I totally get it. ah, and let's see. Let's check in with the iconic chat real quick. We got my good buddy Doggy Dog 420 saying hello. Good morning, Axel Bro. Good morning, Doggy. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. You're Wicked Hot joins us. He says, hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. What's going on? You're Wicked Hot. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. RWK88 says, good morning, y'all. Good morning, RWK88. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Eternal Shaddai, working that overtime right now, says, good morning, everyone. What's going on, Eternal Shaddai? Thank you so much for joining us.
He didn't get any leave. He got bad behavior, so couldn't get out.
He got bad behavior. That's why he's got to work that overtime. He goes, what? Fastback is here? No way. Yeah, he's here. He's here for sure.
I'm your replacement, buddy.
There you go. So yeah, shout out to all the chat, of course. Chat, thank you so much for being here. And while the chat keeps coming in, let's start this show off here with finding out what you've been playing. Fastback, what have you been playing, buddy?
Well, because it's a certain show, I've been playing Fallout 3 right now. And Fallout Shelter. I did not play Fallout 3 back in the day. So I am starting on Fallout 3. And then next is New Vegas. But we'll talk more about that when we get to that topic.
Yeah, I am on that boat with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry, what have you been playing lately? These last 2 weeks.
Last 2 weeks. So I have actually been playing Trine 5, and I'm getting really close to the end. It's been on my backlog for a while. For those that know, the Trine series is one of my favorite indie series that's been made. So I finally got to 5, and oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I've been doing a lot of yelling at my friend because he has difficulties with using his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're trying to do like certain things in the game, and I'm yelling at him because you gotta like aim, or basically the game is a traversal puzzle game. Mm-hmm. So the whole traversal is your puzzle. And so like you gotta put the thing there and hold it there, and he can't hold it there. And next thing I know, he's throwing boxes at me because his thumb is twitching on him. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's been aggravating, but we've been having fun.
That's good. And chat, be sure to let us know what you've been playing. We love to hear what you guys have to say. So I've been getting ready to move. So my game time has basically whittled down to like 30 minutes to an hour before I go to sleep. Basically, I just play until I'm so tired I can't keep my eyes open because I've just been getting ready to move. And so I've been playing on my Nintendo Switch, been playing a lot of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Love that game. Yeah, that game is great. I'm just trying to like 100% it, get all the underground lights going and all that good stuff. But the other day, Friday, I played a multiplayer game with my friends called Warhammer 40K Dark Tide on Game Pass. And man, I did not think that the game was going to be that good, but it was.
I saw you playing that last night, kind of late before, what time I got up. Never played that. Might have to give that
it's like it's a level shooter, like a co-op level shooter. But man, you come out of every mission, it's like, oh, you killed 750 people, or bad guys, and I'm like, yeah. It has a story, and we tried the first part of the story yesterday, and we are not strong enough. We are too weak. Our weapons suck. So we're trying to play and get to these levels. And yesterday we even played with some guys that were like level 23, and even they couldn't carry us. So
Hmm.
the whole crew has to be like up to par because one person can't carry you. There's this mechanic called toughness, where if you guys are close together, you get toughness, so you take less damage. So if somebody goes off and explores on their own, they lose all their toughness and they're just going to get deleted,
Yeah.
right? And so these level 23 guys, they're trying to carry us, but three of us die because we're low level, and that one guy that's level 23, now he lost all his toughness, so he's going
Mhm.
down too. So it's really cool. It's a really neat mechanic. Um, so yeah, I really am enjoying Warhammer Dark Tide a lot more than I thought I would.
So it forces you to kind of work together.
It forces you to at least stay together.
Yeah.
Like as I said, you can't just run or go explore on your own. I guess you could, but you could die, and you can fail the mission. You can fail the mission, but it's so much fun, and there's so many different maps. Like I've played 5 different missions, and each mission takes about 30 minutes. By the way, 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Wow.
So I've played like 5 different missions, and each one has been on a different map so far with a different objective. It's super cool, super cool. Much better than I thought it was going to be. So highly recommend Dark Tide, guys. Let's see. Doggy Dog says he can't stop playing Mass Effect 3. Yeah, Doggy Dog is really good. Eternal Shadai says the Trine series is so good. Shout out to Lost Boomer. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Sorry, your chat didn't load well over here. Shout out to General Spartan 27. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says this game called Orc Must Die 3. That game is seriously fun. It's on Game Pass. Yeah, I agree. I have the original Orcs Must Die, and Orcs Must Die 3 is great. I don't discount that. That is great. It's like a tower defense, but you also get to play a person to make your tower defense even better. It's great. I know what fastback looks like. Now I know what fastback looks like. Yeah.
I'm an old fart gamer with the beard.
Let's see. General Spartan says, Rise of the Ronin, I can't stop thinking how bad that game looks, but at least it's 60 FPS, trying to get that game knocked off. I played Wolong, a game by Team Ninja, and I'm so sad I'm not playing Rise of the Ronin right now, but my backlog is massive, and even if I had it, I couldn't play it right now. As I said, just getting ready to move. Let's see. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, Volume 1, Vigor, and Rogue Company. Dang, Lost Boomer, that's a great list of games right there. Awesome. I took my Series X that I played 550 to play pool. Effing pool. You paid 550 to play pool.
Why not?
Why not, man? It's so funny because like every time I buy a new PC, the first thing I turn on is my emulators to play old games to see if they'll load better.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see.
RWK. But I've seen you in the NOG chat before, but it's probably been a while, so you probably forgot what I look like.
Hey, you know what? Refresh his memory. His memory. Maybe he doesn't recognize you anymore because the beard is different.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Splendifer says, we are stuck on Streets of Rage, unlocking everything. I'm hoping you mean Streets of Rage 4. And yeah, Streets of Rage is incredible. And shout out to Splendifer. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Yeah, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage 2 is what I consider the best game on my Sega Genesis. So yeah, Streets of Rage is great. All right, now that we got all of that taken care of, let's get straight to the news, and let's start off with some wrong button pushes. Apparently, okay, here we go.
Pressing iconic video buttons. Careful.
Yeah. All right, so up first we got Sea of Thieves announced that they have 40 million players, celebrating phenomenal fleet of Xbox and PC products who have set sail since launch. So since launch, 40 million people have played Sea of Thieves, which is fantastic. Not bad for a brand new IP. 40 million people trying it out. But what makes this interesting is just when they were announcing the 4 games that are coming over to other platforms. Sea of Thieves. So this was February 21st, 2024. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make this a little bigger. There we go. So yeah, February 21st, 2024. The Sea of Thieves area here says that they had more than 35 million players. So February, March, April, in a little under 2 months, and at that a short month, 5 million more Xbox and PC people have launched into Sea of Thieves, probably anticipating cross playing with some new friends or the interest because it's Sea of Thieves has always been one of the top selling games on Steam. Sea of Thieves has always been one of the top played games on my Xbox. A lot of my friends play Sea of Thieves, and now that Sea of Thieves is taking over, going over, there's renewed hype. So it looks like the strategy to bring more players in is working as they've brought in 5 million more players. Terry, are you one of those 5 million new players, or are you part of the original 35 million?
I'm part of the original. Yeah, it's just these games. I mean, I played them when they first came out. I liked Grounded, but then it was still early access at the time, and we had the bug where my buddy lost everything. His whole backpack got deleted.
Oh.
So we were like, yeah, we ain't starting over. So we quit and never went back. and then Sea of Thieves. I never really liked Sea of Thieves. I did go back for the DLC for Pirates of the Caribbean, which was nice. But other than that, like, if I feel like if the game was more like that, I probably would have gotten into it because I'm more of a I like things being more quest and story, driven versus just random nonsense, the whole time.
Yeah, the tall tales. They're called tall tales in Sea of Thieves, and they have a lot of them now. A lot of them. So you might want to check it out again. So yeah, Fastback, are you part of the original 35 or part of the new 5 million?
I'm part of the original. So I played at the beginning, day one. I played with Peter, Mike, Nate, some of my NOG buddies.
Yeah.
I'm almost a legendary pirate. So I should be. It's shame on me for not, following through and finishing it. But you play. I love playing it. It's best with friends, right? I played solo before in the beginning, but sometimes it just kind of gets tiring. People messing with you, griefing you. I kind of wish that there was an option in the beginning to where you can just, PvE and just relax. Like it's a beautiful game to explore. And like Terry said, it would have been great to have all these new DLC stuff in there in the beginning. But I understood that what they did was build a good solid game foundation from the beginning. And it was a long-term game, right? Mm-hmm. They knew what they wanted to do. And they were great getting feedback from the players that are in there. So I was in the beta test part where they would implement new stuff.
Oh yeah.
I would go in there and try it out, and I thought it was cool. And you give your feedback. So I really like how they did get that feedback from the players. There's some things where a lot of us wish that they had PvE and so on, but I'm happy that it's now going out to PS5 and is it on Switch yet?
Not yet. No, it's probably not going to come to Switch. Probably Switch 2.
Probably, yeah, I can see that. But I'm glad to see it because I think it's run its course on the Xbox, and Steam. And now it's cool that other people who like to play on PlayStation or Switch, they have the chance to try it out, and it just gives more engagement to the game, brings more money, and that just helps Xbox and those studios to where now they can get that money onto new projects, right? So it's good to see that it's doing well.
Absolutely, and shout out to these guys. This is just like a regular pirate. This person looks like the Merchants Guild. This person looks like there's 3 guilds. There's 4 guilds, right? There's the Merchants Guild. Mm-hmm. This one is probably the most popular guild. This is like the PvP, make everybody's life miserable guild. Sorry, I know all these. They're just escaping me right now. But I of course know the Merchants Guild the most, as that is the guild I'm a part of.
Yeah.
No, so I played Sea of Thieves day one, just like Fastback. I got my day one patch, the patch with the little 1 on it. Yep, I got my day 1 patch. I became a pirate legend in the first year. No, sorry, like a month after the first year. So I did it back in the day when you had to grind to become a pirate legend. There was no story. You were the story. Yep. I played Sea of Thieves for 3 years. It was my go-to multiplayer game for 3 years. So I did 3 years worth of it, and every now and again I'll jump back in for the tall tales. I know that they replaced Tall Tales with a bunch of seasonal crap, but they got a Monkey Island now too. So the Tall Tales are the Maiden Voyage, of course. That's like now the teach you how to the tutorial. Now, by the way, when Fastback and I started, there was no tutorial. It was find out.
They didn't tell you where the berry was treasured. You just figured it out.
Yeah, they didn't show you a button, nothing. Like it was awesome. I did the Shores of Gold. I did the Ashen Age. I did a Pirate's Life, and of course now they have the Monkey Island Tall Tale. So I am very much. I love all those Tall Tales. If anybody needs someone to help them with their Sea of Thieves, I'm here. I haven't played in a while, so I don't know the map like I used to. I used to have it memorized. I could almost drive blind. But I know that they've like every update they move the rocks around and stuff, so that's kind of cool.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. There was a gamer that a lot of people knew. He passed away from cancer, and so they put a tribute because he was there from day one. They put a tribute on one of the islands. There's a book with his name on it, his gamer tag.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that, yeah. And a lot of people are posting pictures of them with that book.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Gamer Addict. I think it was something gaming addict. Yeah, I feel bad not remembering it, but it's been a while.
Yeah, he was big into Sea of Thieves. So shout out to him. Shout out to our chat again. Ronnie Yurianto joins us. He says, "Hi, hey, what's going on? This is probably either my niece or my nephew. So thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Appreciate you guys." Let's see. We got Six Slayer coming in. Thank you so much for joining us, Six Slayer. You are the real MVP. He says, "Good morning, gamers." Doggy Dog says, "I only played Sea of Thieves for maybe 2 hours. Not my thing, but glad it's doing good." Let's see. Chair Walker, shout out to Chair Walker. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, "Been playing Botany Manor, Fallout 3, and Infernax." That's a game I've never heard of. Infernax? I never heard of that one. Let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer joins us. He says, "I stopped playing Sea of Thieves due to stress, frustration, and anger. Game should be fun, not the other way around. Don't play Sea of Thieves solo." Yeah, Sea of Thieves, don't play it solo. Yeah. But now you can launch private servers, so you can play it solo, but you lose something like 50% of your experience. So
yeah, it's dumb. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely on there. Let's see.
But tell Doggy Dog, there is beer in the game. There's grog. And you even got a grog chest, so come on now.
Yeah, and Chair Walker was a part of the 35 mil. That's right. Part of the 35 mil club right here. So let's see what else we got. Anything else? And Jacob Novik joins us. Shout out to Jacob Novik. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, "Hi, what's going on?" Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, shout out to Sea of Thieves for bringing it on. And before we move on to the next topic, we are joined by a very special guest, none other than Carlo from the 4GQ TV channel. What's going on, Carlo?
Hey, what's going on, man? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, it's a pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, Axel.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. So we were just talking about how Sea of Thieves hit 40 million. But we were also talking that about two months ago, back in February 21st, 2024, this is an official Xbox Wire, Sea of Thieves only had 35 million. So they gained 5 million players in 2 months. Congratulations to them. Did you ever play Sea of Thieves? And are you part of the initial 35 or part of the new 5?
I was one of the first people that made Pirate Legend like within a month on Sea of Thieves.
Oh my gosh, a month. Wow. You grinded that one.
I did.
You delivered a bunch of snakes.
I played it with some of the old TXR crew. We had a blast on that. I mean, Sea of Thieves is a fun game, so I'm happy that it's so successful. And if more players can join in and have fun, then why not? And it just goes to show you that people are enjoying it everywhere.
Yeah. And so far, this doesn't even include the new other platforms right now. They say the fleet of Xbox and PC pirates only. So this number is only going to grow, hopefully substantially in the future.
I guess it's just Steam, PC, and Xbox console.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're counting the beta players. It doesn't seem like they are.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
because right here it says 40 million players across Xbox, Windows 10, and Steam. So they're very specific as to which platforms they're talking about. Whoops, sorry about that. So that's great. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Carlo. Good morning, Carlo. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, thanks for having me, Axel. It's a pleasure being on the show. You guys do a great show, and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy you could join us. And of course, Carlo, part of the 4GQ TV crew, actually the leader of the 4GQ TV crew. So shout out to him. Been doing a lot of interviews with some actors lately. I've been watching some of your clips you've been posting. So yeah,
So,
thank you for
Carlos,
putting
been a
those
while.
in clip forms.
We had to balance the panel here with two bearded gamers.
Ah,
Oh yes, that's true. That's right.
Dreadpool wasn't here.
that's right. We lost our resident bearded person. So yes. Let's see. Let me switch this over to. Oh my gosh, it doesn't have a reader mode. Oh no. Well, that sucks. Oh well. Okay. So, Carlo, what have you been playing this week so far, though?
I've been playing a lot of Tropico.
Mhm.
The newest Tropico. I love those simulation games with El Presidente. I love being in charge of an island and just wrecking havoc wherever I feel like it and bothering every superpower out there in the game.
Mm.
So I just having fun playing that, man. And then the rest of the time is on Adobe Premiere trying to do things there. But yeah, Tropico is where it's at, and I think next I'm gonna go to No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, No Rest for the Wicked looks like
Oh,
it's a
nice.
Soul Styles action adventure RPG.
Mhm.
100% calling my name, but I want to wait till it's ready. All right. In other news, moving on to the news here. Uh, the Gorgeous Time PlayStation exclusive has just been ready for Xbox. Kenna Bridge of Spirits on Xbox as an Xbox ESRB rating for the PlayStation exclusive has appeared. So this was spotted in Asia, I think. No, ESRB is here. Sorry, ESRB is here in the US. So Kenna Bridge of Spirits, which launched 3 years ago on the PlayStation and was accepted very well by gamers, in my opinion, is coming to Xbox. Is anybody excited for this one? Terry, are you excited for Kenna Bridge of Spirits?
I mean, it's a good game. I played it on PlayStation. So I mean, it's great that it's coming to Xbox, but I'm not interested in playing it again. But it's good. So those who have been waiting on it, who didn't have access to PlayStation, will now get to play it, which is a great thing. And I do recommend this game. This is a fantastic game. But yeah, me personally, I've been there, done that. I moved on. I got too many games to try to get through. I can't be going back and replaying stuff.
All right. So you're not going to unlock achievements. You're going to stick to your
Nope.
trophies, which is
Nope.
totally okay. Fastback, have you played Kenna Bridge of Spirits?
No, don't have a PlayStation, but I remember watching Nuka when he played it. He was streaming it. It looked interesting. Not my style or whatever, but now that it's coming to Xbox, I'll get my daughter to get on Game Pass. I don't think it's going to go on Game Pass, right? They didn't
It
say
hasn't
that.
been announced at all yet, so
But
don't
might see
know.
if she wants to play it. And I
Don't
can
know.
watch her. Yeah.
The answer is I don't know.
But I heard it was a good game, and for people that like it, so that's
Okay.
cool.
All right. So if this game comes out not on Game Pass, are you going to buy it and play it?
If my daughter wants it, I'll show it to her, and she wants it, I'll buy it for her.
Okay.
And I'll probably play it too if we're gonna buy it and do it. So yeah, and check it out.
Nice.
Why not?
Carlo, Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Have you played it? And if you haven't, are you going to play it?
I played it, and it was. I think the graphics are great, but I couldn't really get into the game. So it's just a game not for me. But I am just, I'm of the mindset that when somebody else gets to experience something that they wanted to experience,
Mhm.
I want them to enjoy it and have fun on it. So I'm happy that when games come to multiple platforms and more people can enjoy it.
Awesome. I'm I think it's great that this game is coming, but if it's yeah, I might play it if it comes to Game Pass. And keyword here is might, because I
Yeah,
have a lot of games on my backlog. So if it comes to Game Pass, I might make time for it. Otherwise, I'll miss it. Um, not against anything against it or the developers, but I don't know. It's one of those games that it's like I have other games I want to play a little bit more, just a little bit more, So it's not high on my list. I think it looks good. It looks great, and Terry thinks it's a fantastic game, so she recommends it. So I might just play it just based
I
on
did
her
rage some during it though too. There were some moments.
If Terry raged, that means I won't. So
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Terry. But 3 years, guys. Do you think it was locked behind an exclusive agreement for 3 years, or do you think it's just, I don't know how big the studio that made it is. It took them 3 years to port. What do you think, Terry? Locked or port time?
More than likely locked. That's
More
probably
than
what it
likely
was.
locked.
It was more than likely locked. I mean, it does take time to port, but that's something that they could have been, if they had already had plans to do that, they would have been working on that right away. The
Mhm.
moment that this game got launched on PlayStation, they already would have been working on that. So, more than likely locked.
Was this game on PlayStation Plus ever?
I
Maybe,
don't
but I
recall.
don't
That I
know.
don't know. I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I don't know. I just rented the game and played it,
Oh, okay.
with a physical copy.
Ooh,
So,
good old physical.
yep.
What do you think, Fastback? Was this game? Do you think this game was locked, or do you think it just took the small indie team that long to get an Xbox dev kit and port it over?
No, I think it was locked, especially when we heard, during that whole ABK stuff that came out where Sony was locking games from going on Xbox. I'm sure this was one of them.
All right, definitely locked.
It is what
Well,
it is. Yeah, but I'm glad to see this coming over now.
I'm glad the lock expired.
Yes.
So, yeah. What do you think, Carlos? Locked or just took this long to port?
I think it was locked because a lot of times nowadays when games are made, they're made on the PC and engines can port them faster these days.
Yeah.
So I 100% think that it was locked with whatever agreement they had with PlayStation.
Hmm.
And it did go on. I'm not sure if you call it. I forget all the tiers of the PlayStation program because they got so many tiers of plus.
I just call them like unleaded plus, and unleaded premium.
I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about TEARS.
Uh,
Oh, that was the crime.
The tears like crying? No. Tears.
So-
TIER. Yeah.
So if you subscribe to one of their tiers, I think like the medium or the highest tier, you can actually play this game on that service for free. Because I was doing it for a little bit before my thing canceled, so it was in there.
Okay, so it was in PlayStation. So yeah, it probably was locked if it was on their subscription service, as there is a kind of like first right of refusal PlayStation holds if you go onto their service. We've seen it got shown during the trial. So yeah, definitely
And I see it's on
locked.
Steam, but I don't know. Was it on Steam day one on PlayStation?
I don't think it was on Steam. Is this thing on
Oh
Steam?
wait, it said release date September 26th on Steam. So
Yeah.
so it's afterwards.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm glad that lock is over. I'm glad that, shout out to this indie group. They had to do what they had to do to get that bag. They got that bag, and now they're trying to expand it over on Xbox players. And we should definitely, if this game interests you, definitely play it, guys. Let's check in with the chat, see if they're interested at all in this game. Let's see. Jacob Novich says, Alex, imagine 2030, 120 million players want to play it but can't due to not feeling like playing with randoms and even have two possible people to join me, my brother. I gifted an S and my best friend, but I haven't thought of it. Easy achievement in Sea of Thieves, eat a banana. Yeah, that is an achievement. Yes. And shout out to Crazy Greek Dude. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. The mod of the channel, Ice Cream Gaming, is in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. She says, I have played Kenna Bridge of Spirits. That's great. I'm glad. Let us know what you think about it. Doggy Dog says, this game looks fun. I will play it. Let's see. It said that it was timed on PS4, PS5, but day one for me, regardless of Game Pass or not. All right. So there you go. Jacob Novich is very interested in Kenna. Let us know what you think after you play it. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I think it was an exclusive on Stadia first. I know there was a game that was exclusive on Stadia that if it came over to everything, but I don't think this was it.
I don't remember that being it either.
Yeah, again, of course, Stadia is dead. We can't really check anymore, but yeah. It's Two Brothers. Hey, Two Brothers was fantastic. Sony locked this game up for 3 years. I don't even think anyone would be interested in this. If anyone were interested, they probably already played it at this point. Shout out to Saffel. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. So yeah, hey, you know what? Jacob Novik is interested. So let's see. That is when I tried it. PS Plus. Split Difference says, I've been waiting for Kenna for a long time. There you go. And Ice Cream Gaming says, I really enjoyed playing Kenna Bridge of Spirits, and I couldn't put it down. That's awesome. Shout out to Sour Below. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. We appreciate you. First time seeing your name here. Hey, thank you so much for checking us out. Really, really appreciate you checking the channel out. Let's see. But nevertheless, I will buy it. Don't know if I'm interested to play it. Buy it to support the dev, but we know that Sony makes people not interested in games by making it time for a certain amount. That's just the thing, you know. Like, if you're really interested in the game, you're going to play the game where it is. That's just how it rolls. Especially if you're an older gamer, where you have the luxury of buying anything. You know, when you're younger, you're limited to whatever console you picked for your birthday or whatever, right? But when you're older, if you're limited to a console, that's a personal choice. But yeah, I agree. Sometimes a lot of the hype goes away after so many years. If this would have launched day and date on Xbox, I might have bought it. But now, 3 years later, I have other games to play. Just saying. Not to say the game is terrible. You know, old games are fantastic. I'm a retro gamer. I play my old games all the time. But I'm just saying, I want to spend my money on other games more than this one. And Chet Walker says he has been waiting for Kenna as well. So there you go. Kenna Bridge of Spirits coming in hot, hot, hot. And I lost my mouse. Where is my mouse? There it is. Okay. Moving on with the news announcements. Microsoft and NetEase have rejoined forces. So Blizzard games are starting to come back to mainland China. Now, if you remember, there was a fallout bit at NetEase, and there was a quote saying, I can't believe a lot of everything can be undone by one person, was a quote from one of the NetEase people. So someone over at Blizzard ruined it for everybody. Now, who that someone is, we don't know. Was it Bobby Kotick? Probably, because screw him. Was it one of the other executives that have since left, like maybe Mike Ibarra or others? Who knows? But Microsoft seems to have repaired that relationship with NetEase. So Xbox owned Activision Blizzard games are now going to be available in China. So we're going to get a lot more people playing this. And I think with the just announcing this, something like 2 million people renewed their accounts. So that's awesome with just an announcement. So NetEase, World of Warcraft coming back to China. This is nothing but a good thing, I think. Anybody have any opinions that the broken partnership was repaired by Xbox? Terry, any opinion? This is just an announcement mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's good that they, got a good PR team and they fixed it,
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Okay. Chair Walker says Bobby K was the issue. It was stated at the time. You know what? I can see it. Bobby K was my least favorite CEO of all time.
There was actually a lot that went behind breaking up the partnership.
Tell us all about it, Clowns.
Well, I don't want anybody in chat to get kind of crazy over it, but what it had to do with at the time was had to do with the political climate between China and Taiwan, and all the esports players that were playing Overwatch were speaking up against the any possible future Chinese.
That's right. Some of them were arrested.
Yes, and because of that, Activision, aka Blizzard, were over there, and they were still doing games in the China market. And what happened was they had faced the backlash online because all these esports players were getting arrested. So then Activision's like, okay, well, we're just going to cut ties because we don't want we don't want to get bad publicity. And, years later, the climate has changed over there between China and Taiwan or whatever. And let's not get into that, but it's an opportunity to bring enjoyment back to, thousands and hundreds of thousands of players that were missing an opportunity to play some games. And it's financially beneficial to both parties involved in the deal.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I could see people trying to avoid a bad thing. Yeah, that climate is always going to be up and down.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's a good thing with Microsoft building that bridge again. It's a lot of money they can make over there. A lot of gamers. Uh, so see how long they can keep that peace, because it could happen again. You never know. Sorry, guys, we're gonna have to cancel you again.
Oh man, that would suck. If I was
You're gonna have to-
I'd
you're
give
gonna
up.
have to hack
I'd
your
give up
way
if
in
you
another
cancel
way.
on me twice.
You're gonna have to hack in to other regions to play.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't forget, over in Asia and China, they have limited the amount of time people can access video game servers. So, because they want them to study, not become addicted to gaming. So, yeah, priorities.
Mm.
Shout out to Dreadpool. He says, "Good morning from bed. Good morning, Dreadpool. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And like I said, I hope you and Death Dealer feel better, guys. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to hit that like button. If you're brand new to the channel and just looking at this, be sure to subscribe. Every like helps us get discovered in the live section of YouTube where we compete. And of course, every subscription helps the channel grow. Trying to get to that 500, guys. So be sure to share this channel out with a friend. We really appreciate it.
I have a message for Dreadpool. I heard if you shave your beard, you get better faster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard that too.
You know this by experience, Carlos?
I haven't tried it yet. But
We'll let Dreadpool
try it first.
test it out first. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll let Dreadpool be the test dummy on that one. Yeah. Yeah. So here, Happy Cloud brought it up. China's largest crackdown on gamers came in 2021 when children were banned from playing more than an hour on certain days. That same year, the government stopped gaming licenses from being granted. Yeah. China cracked down on that. They want their people to be educated, not gamers. So they have a way of creating people over there, making people. And I'm not going to say it's all good, it's all bad. There is definitely an argument for both.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. So I should have grouped this one with the Sea of Thieves story. I apologize, guys. But Sea of Thieves came out. Hi-Fi Rush came out on Team Blue over there, and Microsoft took over their store. There are more Xbox games in the top 20 than PlayStation first-party games. I thought nobody wanted to play these games. I thought they want bangers. Turns out that there were a bunch of liars out there. Let's see. Microsoft Gaming is a new entity within Microsoft under which Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox all sit. The division is bigger than Windows itself. As of last quarter, owing to the acquisition of ABK and continuing growth of mega franchises like Fallout, Minecraft, and Overwatch. To that end, Microsoft's massive gaming investments have seen it become one of, if not the biggest publisher on arch console rival PlayStation itself. Nobody could have seen this coming 10 years ago. That's right. So let me get to the good stuff. Here we go. In an analysis from Strickland, 7 of the top 20 most purchased games on the PlayStation as of right now are all Microsoft-owned franchises. Call of Duty sits at top, followed by Overwatch 2, Sea of Thieves, Fallout 4, Minecraft, Fallout 76, and Grounded. So these are the 7 games taking over the PlayStation the PlayStation hearts and minds. Of course, this is everything Microsoft wanted, as they want every screen to become an Xbox. And this not only makes you feel good, but it's also part of the caveat is that none of the PlayStation first party games were in the top 20. So these blockbuster franchises, it turns out people want to play games. They don't want to watch movies. Gamers want a game, not watch movies.
I mean, some of those games that are in the top are multiplayer games. So I mean, I can understand why, because people are continuously playing them. Sony's known for their first party, their big single player games. Once you're done, it's kind of like how many times you want to go play it, and buy it, right? So
and then they're in a first party dry spell outside of Helldivers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Helldivers not in that top 20.
Helldivers has to be in the top 20, I would think. Well, from what I understand, Helldivers is being carried mostly by PC, but
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that PlayStation people aren't playing it. I know my nephew's playing Helldivers on his PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Terry, Xbox. Xbox is becoming the new world order, taking over. Taking over. Shout out to Doggy. Taking over that PlayStation gaming over there. You know who we are.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic, and it just shows that you got to get away from social media and all the people who just want to hate on stuff and saying that there's no good games on Xbox, because this is proof that PlayStation gamers want to play these games as well. So yeah, this is fantastic. It's great for the devs and it's great for Xbox. So this is a good thing. This is something that we got a lot of Axel tears over.
Yeah,
Previous
you do.
episodes.
You still do.
We still do.
Don't think you don't.
But no, this is a good thing for Xbox. I'm all for it.
All right.
Keep. There's going to be certain games that should stay on Xbox, but there's plenty of games in the library that should be shared.
Yeah, sure, I guess. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Why couldn't I be an only child so I didn't have to share, Lord? Why? Carla, what do you think?
Well, when it comes to the Xbox games doing well on PlayStation, I think it, honestly, I think it has to do with market conditions right now, to be honestly fair. I think that we're seeing a lot of AAAs being delayed or in a slump, and we're seeing more indies pop out right now. It's just the climate of the industry. And gamers are just hungry to play different experiences. So when gamers see Xbox games coming over to PlayStation, the real gamers who play PlayStation, not the ones who are on Twitter that don't play anything, they're excited to play it, man. They just want to get in there. They want to have fun playing with their friends, their family, their buddies on other consoles, platforms, etc. So I think that's what it really comes down to. And Xbox has these games that were held off of PlayStation because of exclusivity and whatnot back in the day. But now they could take some of their library and move it over to PlayStation. And to PlayStation gamers that only play on the PlayStation, have no other opportunity to play games, they're like, wow, these are new games for us. Just because something's old doesn't mean it can't be new to you, right? That's a good saying in the gaming community. So that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, okay, so shout out to Tweaktown, who did an analysis of the PlayStation Store, top 25. So of the top 25 games, 7 of them are Xbox, Microsoft games. 5 of them are Sony games. 3 of them are Take-Two, and 3 of them are EA. So yeah, Sony is up there, and you can see right here, they are up there with MLB The Show, right here. And Helldivers 2, I guess, Arrowhead Studios, but Sony published. You got Overwatch. So yeah, they are definitely still in their store. And all of these blue shades are them. So yeah, they're still not out of it. So there's still a strong force, but to be overtaken by someone else, I don't think anybody sees this as a bad thing. It's just more money being spent on the PlayStation Store. Sony makes more money. Xbox makes more money. Gamers play more games. We get to play with we get to sink new ships on Sea of Thieves. I mean, it should be all positive. Of course, me, I think that there's some bad implications here as far as optics are concerned for Xbox gamers, future Xbox gamers. But we'll see where it goes, as that is a topic for a different day, I think. Because as you said, Terry, some Axel tears of rage will start coming out.
Yeah, I'm with Terry on that. Some of these games that are already there, some that have already been there, right? Like Fallout 4, 76, they've already been there. And the Sea of Thieves, Grounded, those games make sense. There's going to be games like that, to me, make sense that go over multi-plat. But I believe you're not going to see Gears and Halo, the big franchise Xbox games. They're going to stay Xbox exclusive. Just like Nintendo and PlayStation, they have their big games that they're big franchises. They're not going to cross over. So I think Xbox still do that. Microsoft wants Xbox to be a brand. So and now that they've grown, they can pick and choose what can go multi-plat, and they could be successful on multiple devices, and that's what they want. And that's what we're seeing. So
That's what you say, but I highly doubt that. I really feel that Microsoft will always go after the money, and if the money is publishing on other things, then that's what they're going to do. I
I
mean, just
mean, Gears of Halo will do well on PlayStation, no doubt, and
because
Nintendo. But
we all remember this, right? Phil Spencer says not every Xbox game will come to PC. 2 years later, Phil Spencer confirms all first-party Xbox Series X games are coming to PC. So I know that he said, "Oh, it's just these four. It's just these four." But there's a record. There's a track record of them literally
at the
backtracking
time,
on
they
when they
can't
said.
say that. They can't say something like that because they don't know all the. There's still deals going on behind the scenes, right? They
Yeah.
can't just say stuff like that. Oh yeah, for sure, and then I don't know. That's what I believe, but I guess we'll see, right? I mean, it could happen, but I still feel like there's got to be a reason for them to want to continue growing Game Pass. So if Game Pass is not going to be on PlayStation or Nintendo Switch, which I don't see, I can't imagine Nintendo and PlayStation wanting Game Pass on their system to compete with their own subscription services and their own games. Then I think it'd be selective games they'll allow to come over.
Yeah, and don't forget, Phil Spencer said during the Bethesda acquisition that, to our gamers, this purchase is about expanding games where Game Pass exists. Access to these games where Game Pass exists, but Game Pass doesn't exist over there. And a Bethesda game, Hi-Fi Rush, went over there without Game Pass existing. So again, the track record is just not good, man. I'm not saying I'm not going to play Xbox games because of it. I'm just pointing out that it's not good.
You'll be all right, sir.
Yeah.
Terry, keep you, Joe, take care of you.
Terry will take care of you. Terry will dry my tears.
No.
Yeah.
Terry's empathy and sympathy will dry my tears, I'm sure.
I don't know how much empathy I'll have, but okay.
Shout out to Terry. Thank you so much. Let's see. PlayStation players want Xbox games, but they don't want to buy their own games, but love Xbox games. That's right. GameSpot article: Activision Blizzard and NetEase's breakup come after Bobby Kotick failed threatened report detail the issues. Wow. Okay. Let's see. I have not purchased any of those. I have Fallout 76 as a launch purchase, sadly. Oh man, I heard it's pretty good now, DE. And shout out to DE. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Of course, Happy Cloud Gamers, Team No Console. He thinks everything should be on the cloud and everybody should have access to it.
It will be one day.
And you know what? It could very much be reality one day. Mobile gaming is on the rise and console gaming is on the decline. So, yes. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, guys. Help us out here. Hit that like and share. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content. Thank you so much, Clowns, for sharing that. Appreciate it. Let's see. Chet Walker, PlayStation tends to follow what Xbox does, so I'm just seeing it as soon more PlayStation first-party games will come over to Xbox. I hope so. Let's see. Phil Spencer got Xbox games on PC, so PlayStation eventually followed what Phil did, and now their games are on PC. Yeah, but it takes them like 10 years. PlayStation is like 10 years. I like to think of Xbox as the gaming innovators. So yeah, they're really good. And shout out to the Gina. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He said just need PS Plus to stream PS5 games instead of the PS4 copies, and that's me sorted on my PC. Oh, there you go. He's going full PC, dropping that PlayStation hopefully one day and going full PC. Master Race. All right, I think that does it for our announcements that we had scheduled here. On to the real news here. So give me a second while I prepare. Give me 1 second because I got to keep scrolling up and down. Okay, so don't know if you guys heard, but Dead Space 2 Remake reportedly shelved due to poor sales. Looks like Dead Space is going back into the vault. Of course, Dead Space Remake came out, received lots of good critical acclaim. Everybody talked highly about it. But apparently, it only sold something like 2 million copies, and 2 million people is just not enough, I guess. I don't know. I thought 2 million people was a lot of people. But I guess in today's climate, 2 million is just a drop in the bucket. Let's see. So it says a reliable insight, and I apologize, guys. I can't make this into reader mode. I don't know why Google got rid of the reader mode. A reliable insider gaming has claimed that remake of Dead Space 2 was canceled, and by the way, that insider is Jeff Grubb, or at least shelved by EA due to disappointing sale numbers of the first game's remake. After a decade without anything new from Dead Space series, EA and Motive blessed us last year with an excellent remake of the first game that understood what made it so special while improving on it in almost every way. Sure, it was a little bit easier than the original, but it was still one of the year's best games and something that indicated a bright future for the series. Despite EA and Motive hinting that a remake of the second game could be happening at some point, the slow sales of Dead Space and the team starting development on an Iron Man game did make it seem a little unlikely. Well, I hate to be proven right, but it seems that the remake of Dead Space 2 isn't going to be happening anytime soon. Again, Jeff Grubb here. He said, according to Jeff Grubb, EA Motive was working on a Dead Space 2 remake, which was in concept phase but canceled / shelved because of the lackluster sales of the first remake. They are now working on Iron Man and Battlefield. So here is the quote. They said that they're going to be a 2-project team going forward and that there will be Iron Man and Battlefield. So they're working on it. They were working on Dead Space 2, but they're no longer working on it. It is on the shelf because of the first game had lackluster sales. Okay, so this is 2 weeks old news, but part of the being 2 weeks old news is that we get some drama, a little drama, internet drama. Anybody up for some internet drama here? So I hate the fact that I'm clicking on this website, by the way. Oh, thank God there's a reader mode. Okay. So IGN reported that EA shoots down Dead Space 2 remake rumors. No validity to this story. With an update. Sources said Dead Space 2 remake was never considered by EA Motive. A spokesperson telling IGN, we don't normally comment on rumors, but there's no validity to this story. All right. And then in an article on Bloomberg, reporter Jason Schreier confirmed EA's statement while adding that EA Motive did spend a few months conceiving ideas for a new entry in the series, but that none were greenlit and fizzled before they could get very far. And I don't have a subscription to Bloomberg, so I can't get that article, guys. I'm sorry. In part because Dead Space Remake was reportedly missed internal targets, the team then instead began exploring other ideas, while the bulk of the developers worked on Dead Space moved on to different projects. In a post on X and Twitter, he added that the chief hope was for a new game, not a remake of Dead Space 2. Although both ideas were explored, ultimately, he says Dead Space is on ice once again, which IGN can collaborate. All right. So there you go, sir. So Jeff Grubb being told you're wrong. But Jeff Grubb doesn't like being wrong. I love drama. Jeff Grubb doesn't like being wrong. He posted on Twitter, I give you permission to believe EA if you want, but whenever a company says that isn't true, but they don't specify which part of the story they're talking about, well, yeah. Dead Space 2 was definitely being planned. It had a code name, and they aren't making it now. And that is where the drama ends. So Jeff says it was scrapped. People say that it was never even being considered. And Jeff says, yeah, it was. It had a code name. Good old internet drama. Dead Space 2. Who? Do you want a Dead Space 2 remake, Terry? And who do you think is right?
Okay, so I do not want a remake. But to be fair, I'm not a fan of Dead Space. I played the original, and I didn't think it was all that. But, it has its following. Now, in terms of this, before you even got to this tweet and you were reading off what EA was saying, I was sitting there like, literally, they're saying the same thing that he said. Literally, they admitted that they were conceiving ideas, nothing stuck, and they put it on the shelf, which is what he said, is that they were working on it, and now it's on the shelf. So they are agreeing that they were working on it, and it's now on the shelf. So I don't see why they had to go out of their way to say the same thing.
Right.
It's a waste of time. But, so it's on the shelf, okay? Now that we got confirmation from 2 sources, it's on the shelf.
It's on the shelf. Oh, everybody says it's on the shelf. It's just a matter of how it got to the shelf. That's the.
Who cares how it got to the shelf? It's there. They're not
As a gamer, you're still not going to see it.
Exactly. The end result is the same. It's not being worked on. You're not going to be playing it anytime soon. That's the end result. So until they, decide to go back to it, who knows when, if ever, then we'll be talking about it again. But I feel like this was just, he made a statement that was true, and they wanted to be the ones that broke the news. And so they had to try to make it sound like he was wrong when all they did was confirm what he said.
Yeah, Bloomberg seems to have confirmed everything he said.
For
the code name. Although they're just saying, Jeff Grubb is saying that it was in development and it stopped, and everybody's all like, no, it wasn't. So that seems to be the thing.
I feel like,
but again, it's still on the shelf.
I feel like if you have a meeting and you have a bunch of people brainstorming ideas, I guess depending on who you are, some people could say that is a developmental phase. Some people would say that it's not development until they choose the idea and then they start actually working on it. So, that's going to be, what you define as development. But whatever. I still think it's a nothing sandwich.
No matter what, you're still not getting a new Dead Space, Terry. Are you sad that you're not getting a new Dead Space?
No.
You said no because you don't play it.
I played the first one, and I was unimpressed.
Unimpressed.
I was unimpressed. So then when they announced they were remaking it, I was like, okay. And I didn't care. And then, because I remember for the longest time, all of the diehard Dead Space fans had been crying for years about how they want Dead Space back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got it back and you didn't play it, so that's what you get.
Well, that's that. All right. Carlo, Dead Space remakes got canceled. It's on the shelf. Who do you think was telling the truth, and are you sad that you're not getting a Dead Space 2?
Listen, it sounds like Jeff Grubb. I'm not trying to go after the guy. I think Jeff Grubb produces great content.
Absolutely.
But I do think that he was wrong on this one, because it sounded like he went from saying that it was in development to now it just had a code name. And the thing is, being planned and having a code name does not mean it's in development. I play test a lot of games, let's just say, and I'm putting it out there that just everything gets a code name, right? Doesn't mean that it's gonna be produced, doesn't mean it's gonna see the finish line, doesn't even mean it's gonna get the first cinematic 5 minutes of the game. Do I think EA is gonna continue to make Dead Space? I think after the initial remake didn't do so well that they wanted, I think maybe they would more likely consider a full reboot of the series, because Dead Space is still a great franchise. And there's money to be made there for the fans that love the series. But if they can reboot it, then they can turn that into more than just a game. They can make movies, they can make TV shows, they can make comics. They could cross that barrier of multimedia entertainment. So I think that's more likely the plan for something like this.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody wants their franchise to be more than just gaming nowadays. It almost is a requirement if it's AAA. Yeah. Fastback, Dead Space 2. Oh, I'm sorry, Carlo. Are you sad that Dead Space 2 is not getting remade?
I'll be honest. I really wanted to play the remake of it, but if it's not being supported by the fans or by gamers, then a company doesn't have the incentive to do it. So should I be more disappointed with the gamers that love the franchise that didn't support it? I don't. It's a tough question, Axel. But would I love? Yes, I would want to play it. Yes.
Okay. Fastback, where do you stand on this drama between Jeff Grubb and apparently everybody else? Jeff Grubb versus everybody else.
Well, sad to say, I've never played Dead Space. Not that I didn't want to, but I just never got around to it.
Yes.
It is in Game Pass. The
remake. That's right.
Yeah. Well, is it the remake in Game Pass or just the original?
I thought it was the remake.
I
don't know. Let me check. Yeah, keep going. I'll check.
Yeah, because I watch some people streaming. I like what I see. I like the premise of the story and I love space games and all that, especially, you know, you know, zombie games, whatever. But I don't know. Like if the game then it wasn't successful enough for them to go ahead and continue with remake of the Dead Space 2, then it is what it is. I mean, maybe EA needs to look at what Xbox Bethesda did with Fallout and did a series on Netflix or Amazon, and maybe they should do a Dead Space series. Maybe it'd drive up that excitement for the franchise, and then people would be like, go and start playing it. And you see the engagement on Game Pass, and then they might green light the remake of 2, and then do a new reboot, like Carlos was saying. I mean, you can't force gamers to like a game and play it, so you got to, either it is what it is, or you find other ways to get that excitement out. So,
Yeah. All right, and so I just checked. Dead Space 2023 is on Game Pass.
okay. So I don't know. I'm curious what the numbers are on there. Maybe the engagement's not what they were hoping for. So,
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a game out there that I stand for 100% and would love a full Final Fantasy VII remake level remake, but the people that that even played the original game versus and continue to want to play the game are so few and far between. It's never going to happen. Even though the game was critically acclaimed and loved by players, just not enough people have played it. Nobody bought it.
Yeah.
So there are those titles out there. I think the remake was done to gauge interest in Dead Space franchise to see if they would even make a fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And obviously they feel that due to lackluster sales, which is, a metric that they use, they said, oh, it's not good enough. So they went ahead and killed it. There might have never been a Dead Space 2 remake in the works, or maybe they thought, you know what, if it's good enough, we're going to remake Dead Space 2 while we work on Dead Space 4 at the same time. But they've been moved over to work on Battlefield and on Iron Man, which is sad. Now, shout out to the game complainers who gave me a copy of this when I went it on their channel, Dead Space, and it is on the backlog, and I cannot wait to play it, as I've never played Dead Space before, so I'm very excited to play it. But what I want a Dead Space 2 remake, I think all games should have, for some reason, I enjoy watching the new graphics on games I've already played, but outside of that, ongoing interest, there's very little reason for me to get a remake. Unless it's a full-blown, like Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy 7 level style remake where the camera gets redone, the controls get redone, the voice acting gets redone. Like a full-blown remake.
I want a Code Veronica remake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want a remaster, just prettier graphics. I'm not really too interested in that. But a full-blown remake, I would love those.
Yeah.
But Terry, that's what we think. How does the chat feel?
Okay. Do you want a Dead Space 2 remake? 50% said yes, and 25% said no. Or what is Dead Space?
What is Dead Space?
What is which one's considered the better one? 1 or 2?
2. Most people consider 2 the better one.
So when if they take the risk and do a remake of 2, that might be received a little better. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
well, from what I understand, this remake has everything that made 2 better than 1. They threw it into this remake. So this one is like the combination of both of them.
But they make that known.
Systems.
I mean, they market that, make it known that hey.
I'm not sure if they marketed it. I don't think they did. They just put it out there. So,
but I'm like with Carlos and stuff. But the whole drama about this Grubb. This is what Grubb wanted. Whether or not what he said, like Carlos was saying, all games have codes. The projects doesn't mean that it's going to get made or not. But it's always it's got to start somewhere, right? So I'm sure, yeah, he had some inside word on it. It's not, crazy to say that might be a thought of remake of 2, but that's what Grubb does. So he'll say whatever he'll want to say. And then EA will say this, and then it's like, oh, Grub, people say, oh, Grub, you were wrong or whatever. But that's what he wants, negative or positive, right or wrong.
Engagement.
Yes, it gets attention to Grub. So he don't care.
Okay. Well, like I said, I fully support remakes if they're full-blown remakes. And this one was a full-blown remake. And I'm glad I got a copy of it, a purchase copy, even though I once said purchase copy. But point is, somebody paid for that copy. So, I'm very happy to add this to my backlog and play it as soon as I can.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I might try to play it too one day.
I think you should. I mean, everybody who's played it has said nothing but good things. I have yet to hear someone tell me anything bad about it. Except for maybe Terry. So let's see. Let's check it with the chat. Splendifer says Xbox is the innovator just like Sega was. No, don't say that. Sega went away. No. Let's see. The same 2 million sales as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh, burned. So I'm one of those 2 million sales on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I love that game. Trail Walker says prediction: Marathon will launch on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox day and date. Whoa, yeah, I think so. Let's see. I think EA will wait to make a Dead Space 2 to build the hype, and then they might do Disney as their vault. They might come in at, in other words, they only do like a remake every 5 years or something. Bring it out of the EA vault. Okay. Let's see. Jason Litter tweeted that the code name for Dead Space 1 remake is being used for the new game, and that's what Jeff must have seen. Okay. Did not know that. That's interesting. Let's see. The Gina says Jeff Grubb chucks out 10 predictions a week, and most of them come true. Just one a day or two before Games with Gold doubled its price. He was saying it was about to be announced as going free. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's not free. I'm still waiting on it. I'm still waiting on it. Why do all the remakes? I personally think it's a cheap way to pull more out of us. They should focus more on making new games because I don't play games over and over. Well, some people do. Dreadpool says 2 is tighter. Dead Space 2 is tighter. Let's see. Shout out to Cyber Gunther. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Fast back on the panel. Okay, drop the nukes.
Go Cowboys.
Oh, no. Dead Space remake is good. Yeah, if
Eagles.
Beat it though. Hey, did you see the eclipse, Fastback?
No, because it was so cloudy. I saw it when the clouds kind of parted a little bit, but it was cooler seeing the sky get dark. So
yes. So I saw the full eclipse, and that is the second eclipse in the second lunar eclipse in Texas in the last 20 years. So there have been as many eclipses as the Cowboys have playoff wins in the last 20 years.
Easy now.
Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Well, or since the last time the Broncos won the Super Bowl. Wait. No, that's right. They won sooner than the Cowboys. So okay, I'll take it back.
Yeah, we won one in 2015.
But the 49ers haven't won the Super Bowl
since
96, right?
The 49ers haven't won one since like 94, I think.
Or 95, 96. But they can go to all the Super Bowls they want, Cyber Gunner, but they got to win them. That's
right. They're up there with the Broncos for holding the record for the most Super Bowl losses.
There you go.
All right, guys. I think it's a good time to add a little break to the show here as we're getting off topic. We are going to move on to Terry's in the Spotlight.
All right.
I am back with the Indie Spotlight, and today I'm bringing you one of my favorite genres, which is racing. So for those of you that are into racing games, I want you guys to pay attention because this one pays tribute to classic racers. So we're talking like Flat Out, we're talking Burnout, we're talking like your old school, just chaotic racing games. Check this out.
All right, PC Pro Am remake coming up.
Yeah, that was a rage fest right there. Roll that footage.
There we go.
Call that a try? Watch me, kiddo.
Back to the cars.
All right, you guys.
That
So
looks awesome.
Trail Out. So this is a blast from the past, back when racing games were just absolutely chaotic and destructive, and it was just good fun. Now you can go back to doing that once again. So this game was originally on PC for the last 2 years, but they finally brought it to Xbox.
Nice.
So, brand new on Xbox. It's been out for maybe a week. So go ahead and check it out. It's $30. It's just like your classic, so it's going to be a single player game, but it does have up to 4-player local multiplayer, just like classic games did back in the day. They really keep to that feel. Back when you played those games, you didn't have online, so you had your friends come over. So go ahead and check it out. It has 4 DLCs already included in that price. So keep that in mind. The $30 is the game plus 4 DLCs because they're putting everything that PC already got into it. So you're getting 4 DLCs with it. So it's a great price. So go ahead and have some fun.
Dang, that
I
game looked cool, I'm
remember
not gonna lie.
seeing this, and I'm glad you reminded me of this. Now, seeing this trailer, I was like, yeah, I got to get this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that guy, the golf cart road rash
Yeah.
tribute, and I saw that Joker blowing someone's car up, I'm like, can you call airstrikes in on other people? That's awesome. And then
so much chaos.
yeah, I saw the person fly out of the vehicle and then get hit by another vehicle, the ragdoll.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing. It was so good.
A lot of different games to choose from, so there's a little bit of everything for depending on what kind of stuff you enjoy doing.
And I saw plenty of Mustangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was funny. One of the drivers looked like Noof.
It probably drove like Noof too. Oh, that's nice. Shout out to Noof, wherever you are, buddy. Let's see. Stone King, shout out to Stone King. Thanks so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, nice looking game right there. Yeah, it was nice. But you know what would be even nicer for this game, Terry? Not only that you pay for it, but then because you liked it so much, that you tip the developer on top of the price you already paid for the game. Let's move on to the next topic, and that is right. We are going to talk about tipping. tip culture is taking over. Mike Ibarra, I'm going to read this. Actually, Terry, can you read this for me, please?
Sure.
Do I need to make it bigger?
I can see it. Okay, I'm not that old yet. I can see it.
All right, take
All
it
right.
away. But do it in your Mike Ibarra voice.
I don't know what his voice is.
Boring. It's a boring voice.
Okay. I thought about this idea for a while
There you go.
as a player. All right, no, I'm not doing that. All right, so I thought about this idea for a while as a player since I've been diving into single player games lately. When I beat a game, there are some that just leave me in awe of how amazing the experience was. At the end of the game, I often thought, I wish I could give these folks another $10 or $20 because it was worth more than my initial 70 and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. This is such a BS piece right here. He never once did he think that. Okay, but anyways, games like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Red Dead Revolver 2, I'm thinking that's Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, blah, 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 blah. I know $70 is already a lot, but it's an option at the end of the game I wish I had at times. Some games are that special. I know most will dislike this idea. By the way, I realize we are tired of tipping in everything else, but I view this different from a pressure to tip type scenario many face and give feedback on.
All right, let's give some feedback. Terry, how do you feel? I know you already said it, but tell us, are you going to tip these
Heck
developers?
No. Heck no.
Knowing for a fact that all it's going to do is go to the CEO's pocket.
Dude, all that, the tipping is either going to go to the, depending on what kind of, if you're tipping on like a small game, then it might actually go to the dev, but chances are, it's I don't know. But I feel like, this is a bad idea. Because then what's going to happen? They're not getting tips. So what are they going to do? They're just going to increase their prices more to accommodate the fact that they're not getting tips or they're not getting enough tips. They're going to use tipping as a factor to just continue to increase the prices on everything else. This is bad. This is bad. And this is literally a problem in America is tipping. Okay, the rest of the world doesn't tip. This is an American culture problem. Okay, we tip and we shouldn't be tipping. Tipping is stupid. Okay, most of the people we tip didn't even do anything. All right. And then we got people who work really, really hard that don't get tips. Tipping is dumb. All right. Get rid of tipping altogether. It's a problem in America. I said it. Get rid of it. This is dumb. I hate this take.
Yeah. Fastback, how do you feel about tipping? Do you wish you could tip developers?
No.
What situation?
No, I mean, what if the game is not that good? Let's say, or what if only a couple people tip, then, and you got 300 people on the team? Who gets what? They're each going to get a couple pennies or what? I mean, how do you divide all that? Like, that makes no sense. I mean, the game $70 is already enough as it is. The publisher should be paying these people well, fairly, and that's it. They bring us DLC and other stuff. If we like the game, we'll pay for that, microtransactions. But no, I'd rather tip or help like a small indie game developer. So if the game comes out and it's I like it, and so sometimes you crowdfund some of these indie games.
Oh yeah,
I'd rather
like Kickstarter. Yeah,
I'd rather do that. Hey, I enjoyed your game, and they have a deal saying, hey, I'm going to start another game. I could use some help. Yeah, cool. I'll give you some money to help that. But tipping this among $70, that's enough. Mikey Bauer, I'm glad he's not with Xbox anymore.
This might be why he got let go. Who knows? Shout out to Phil Spencer for saving me tip money 10%, which will eventually grow to 20% tip money. Carlo, tipping. I know that you talked to a lot of developers.
Yeah.
How did they ever react to this?
Nobody I know in the industry has ever reacted to this, right? But my opinion on this is essentially tipping on games is terrible. And the reason why I say that is because half the time we hear about these workers that don't even get the right pay, the right benefits. They get severed or laid off immediately after a project. And some of them are not even contract workers, right? I mean, these are just some people on the dev teams that just get, hey, it didn't do as well, so we're cutting you guys off. Tipping, no. Because why are we giving the CEOs more money to make bad decisions? Is that's what's going to happen? I mean, the tip money is going to go to the shareholders and the CEOs, and now their Lamborghinis are going to have that extra driverless feature instead of, hey, we need a driver for our limousine or something. That's where the money's going to go. It's not going to go into these 9 to 5 developers that are working their butts off, trying to make a living. Some of them making as low as like 40K a year. And then on top of that, what happens to when you outsource, right? Like, so if you're hiring a team in Romania and an American company's getting all these tips, are those Romanian employees that get paid, I don't know, let's just say like 20,000 a year or less? Hey, I'm in Romania, CEO guys. Do you have that $5 from a McDonald's Happy Meal? Oh no, we spent it on the battery for a Tesla. We needed the battery. Sorry, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, where's it going to go? It's not going to go to the people. The trickle down concept doesn't work.
It never has.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it never has. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work.
I said so many bad things about this already. Tipping, I hate tip culture. I'm with Terry. I tip my waitress because I used to be a waiter and I know how much they rely on those tips. And considering the fact that wages haven't gone up in like 25 years, they're still being started at $2. So I tip them because I know how tough it is. It can be, right? So I tip the people that wait or serve me. But I hate it when I like order food to go. I go pick it up and to pay for it, and it's like, oh, do you want a tip? Hell no. I paid for the food. You didn't serve me. You didn't bring me a drink. You handed me my cup so I could go get my drink. I'm not tipping you for picking up food. Get out of here. For me picking up food. Okay, not a driver delivering my food, not DoorDash delivering my food. Okay, for me picking up my food. Or like, what was it? I think at one point I saw Walmart add tipping to their self-checkout lanes. And it's like, why am I going to tip when I did all the work? That's a baloney. Like, these people, this tip culture is getting out of control. Like, hey, this is how much the cost of the service is, but tipping is expected. Like, no. Hard no. The reason we have inflation, like this pisses me off right now. The reason we have inflation right now is because of corporate greed. That's it. Not because of real economic structure, not because there's a lack of jobs, not because of this, not because of what has given us inflation in the past. It's pure greed. These corporate CEOs and these shareholders just want more of your money, and hence they raise the prices, and now we're in this situation, right? But and that's another thing. The price of games went up from $60 to $70 for a hobby. For a hobby, right? Keep that in mind. Like this, we don't need video games to survive as human beings. Yes, it is a great part of entertainment, and in my opinion, it's the best form of entertainment ever created, as it combines every art that we've ever created into one medium, right? It combines music art, visual arts, writing arts, all that into one interactive medium, and I think it's fantastic. But they raised the price to $70, and you know what? You would think $10 wouldn't affect me that much, but I think about buying games a lot more now than I used to when they were $60. And it's just like, man, that $10 just really makes a difference, especially when everything else went up in price too. So am I going to tip you? The answer is no. If I pay the asking price, I should get I should get what was advertised, And then you got these games that launch incomplete. They launch buggy. They because the CEOs want to make money. They launch without going through QA. They launch with DLC, with missions or characters locked behind DLC already, nickel and dimed, as we put it. So yeah, no, it's funny that he mentions these games like Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and Elden Ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, right? This is the way games should be made. This is what I expect my $70 to get me, not the other way around. Not like, oh, hey, we gave you a full game, we're not nickel and diming you, so you get another $10 or $20. No, I've already paid $70 for this. I don't want to pay extra money. I'm sorry. if I pay extra money for something, I better get something. You know, this isn't. It's like tipping your waiter or your waitress. You have a set amount you want to tip, but if they give you really bad service, you're not going to tip as much, right?
Yeah.
So, and if they give you the service you expect, you're going to tip the normal amount. You're not going to tip more because, oh man, that service is really good. Let me tip more than I already pre-planned. At least that's the way I go about it, right? Because that good service is expected. I expect good service, just like I expect good, complete games. When I buy a game, I expect it to be complete. That's just the way I am. And I'm not tipping you because, oh, wow, thanks for the complete game. No. There's a base asking price, and I'm sorry that, 2 million sales isn't good enough. If we had tipping, then we could make the third one. No, screw that. I'm sorry, just screw all that. I don't want any of that. So yeah, my wife says, shout out to my beautiful wife. She's the MVP of my life. She says, I agree with Miss Terry. Yeah, I agree with her too. Screw that tip culture. Mm-hmm. I think Mike Ibarra is really wrong on this, on every level. I don't even know why he brought it up. And if a game adds a tipping option, I might not buy from that developer ever again. Why? Because there's other games to play. Just sorry. Kind of talk with your wallet kind of thing. So, like, if I'm tipping, if a developer adds a tipping option to their game, that game better win Game of the Year. That's all I'm saying. And I'm still not tipping you. So, yeah. Notice he put out Game of the Year contenders here, guys. Single player Game of the Year contenders. Although he excluded Zelda. But whatever. So, yeah. So what do you think Mike would say something like this? Like, do you think it's because he's trying to, like, he doesn't work for anybody right now that I know of, right? Like, he might have signed a non-compete and he's got to go through his non-compete, not work for anybody, period. But the man's a millionaire. Of course, millionaires only think about taking more money. So I don't know. I just don't understand why he would say something like this. That's all I'm saying.
I can't speak to the man's job or currently what he's doing, but I can tell you this: there's a reason why he's not at Microsoft anymore.
I'm sure there is. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm sure there is. I kind of always thought it's because he disagrees with Phil Spencer's motto, but I'm not sure what exactly he disagrees with.
The first time he left, and then he comes back again after the acquisition, right? And then he's gone again.
Yeah, and he says he's here for the long haul. The long haul was only like a month. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's see. Shout out to Stone King. He says, ain't no way I'm ever tipping a game. I started Redeemer Enhance and beat it this morning. Only paid $3.99 for it with 3 other games on Xbox. Imagine tipping on Xbox Game Pass games. Yeah, screw that. I pay the asking price, and that's all I want to pay. Some of these devs need to pay me for trying/playing their crap games at times. Agreed, yeah. I played so many bad games, I wish I could get a refund on some of them. But I can't because it's a digital purchase. Right? So, yeah. Agreed. If tipping culture becomes a thing, refund culture better become a thing in games. And refund culture is going to get abused.
It's like you said, the reason why we tip waiters is because they only make so much an hour. So they rely on those tips. These people making the games, they already make a full income, whatever they get annually. Mm-hmm. Plus, they get bonuses if the publishers are nice or whatever. So there's no reason for tips.
Yeah, and not all of them make a lot. Like Carlos said, some of them are making as little as $40,000.
Yeah,
which is not enough to live on. But sometimes it's part of the growing pains.
It is, yeah.
I remember making just enough to get by before I got more than enough to move forward. So It was a growing pain, unfortunately.
Everybody goes through it. You're young, right? You get experience, you get more money.
And experience.
It works that way.
I was in Subway the other day, and they had a tip option when I was paying. I was like, for what? The people doing their jobs? Hell no. Exactly. Yeah. They should be paid. Yeah. I know a lot of people that think games have to cost 70 to 100 USD. A friend of mine is a developer in Sweden. He told me that games can be successful if a game with AAA quality is 40 USD. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. and some games are 40 USD, and they're fantastic. Most games releasing today, like early access games, you have to wait updates to fix the game instead of giving you extra folks need to wait 6 to 12 months to buy certain games. Yeah. Crazy Group Dude, thanks for making a big old deal out of nothing. Hey, we're just talking about stuff. It's all right. And shout out to Crazy Greek Dude. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. HTK360, shout out to HTK360. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. How about lower the game price by $20? And if it's good, I'll tip $20. Yeah. And yeah, Jago Cook and I agree. Mike Ibarra was coming from a mindset of excessive money. Not all of us are wealthy. Yeah, exactly. Let's all go Star Citizen in the future. Talk about being nickel and dime. Dang. Something like $10,000 gets you everything in the game or something like that.
Wow.
Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says, if you want to tip, you won't have to. It's the whole tip culture thing, man.
Again, like I said, this is an American concept. The rest of the world doesn't generally tip for services or anything like that. So if you were to put the option to tip on a game and show it to somebody who lives outside the US, they're going to look at it like, what is this nonsense? And they're not going to tip because it's like tipping is very, very like, what's the word?
American?
Well, yeah, American, but it's like taboo. Like nobody does it. Only Americans do it. Okay, nobody does it. So
I hate the fact that waitresses and waiters aren't paid a livable wage,
and that shouldn't
we
exactly,
have to subsidize it.
And that shouldn't be put on the customers to pay their wages. That's a problem in America and within our employment system that that needs to be fixed. So we end up generalizing. Well, we have to tip because they don't get paid well. Well, why are we fixing their problem for them? They should be paying them well to begin with. So it just adds to it. So that way we desensitize the idea of tipping, and you get idiots like Ybarra who probably worked in a lot of different jobs before he got this one, where he got used to being tipped for doing nothing but standing on there looking at a cell phone, and now he thinks that tipping is a great thing. And it's not, because there are, when you look at customer service, yes, there are waiters and waitresses that do a phenomenal job, and I enjoy tipping them because they go above and beyond. But majority of your servers show up one time, they might bring you a drink, and you don't ever see them again, and then they expect to get like a $20 tip when you never even saw them. So no, they don't deserve tips. Most of the time, they don't deserve tips, And then like DoorDashers, okay? I tip my DoorDashers, but I hate tipping my DoorDashers because I know all the other delivery service people out there that, work at the post office, FedEx, DHL, UPS, they're carrying heavy freaking packages, and they're doing 10 times the amount of deliveries in a day that some DoorDasher does, for a 2-hour span, and they don't get tips. So the whole system is dumb. The whole system is dumb. My FedEx guy didn't get tipped when he brought me my 4 tires. But some freaking guy who drove, a block down the street thinks that he's entitled to a freaking tip when all you did was carry a freaking bag that weighed less than a pound. Get out of here.
That's how you really feel, Terry. You're right. It's true.
This is very passionate.
Tipping is I agree 100% with Terry. I love it.
But let's get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is called crony capitalism. And the whole idea was trickle down economics, and it never worked. Trickle down went to the top. The CEOs and executives got that money. The shareholders got that money, but not the average working employee. Hence why we don't see raises across the board for average workers, but we see raises for CEOs, more revenue for shareholders and executives. And that's exactly what happened. And Terry's pointed out a good point. Instead of the money coming down to the average worker, they're expecting you, the citizen, to say, hey, I feel bad for this person, so I'm going to give them a tip. But really, what they could have done is said, hey, I will not take that $50 million bonus, and we'll give everybody below me, that access to that money in some way or fashion. So that's what it really comes down to. And Terry said it very well. It's a passionate thing for many people, especially people that are working paycheck to paycheck or living paycheck to paycheck. It is a really terrible situation right now, and hopefully the economy gets better. That's all I could say. But yeah, sorry for my rant too, but I agree with you.
This is why we're talking about it, because it really, like, rich people don't understand how hard we have it the average American has it. I think the median wage in the U.S. is something like $48 million or $48,000 or something like that. Is the medium, and that includes the CEOs and everybody, right? So most Americans, a vast majority of people are making less than that. The average money you need to make to buy a house these days is $120,000.
Yeah, just to make it, right? That's not even to feel
that's just to make it.
comfortable.
That's because I think when it comes to housing, I think they fund something like they'll go 38% of your income is how much you can pay a month, pre-tax income. And so to do that, to buy a starter home, I'm talking a starter home, no frills, no whistles, no bells, no nothing, no options. You need to make roughly $120,000, and that's a lot. That's a lot. We're a long way from it.
And Dreadpool points out a good thing. The middle class salaries really haven't gone up, but yet now to be middle class, it's 140 grand a year. I mean, that's a very good point that he's making right there.
Good
right?
point, Dread.
Like, there's still people living on like 30,000 a year, and they're barely. I mean, I don't even know how.
You gotta get those roommates, baby. Get those roommates.
Yeah.
And Axel, let's just say, God forbid, a working man like you, right, became disabled. Okay, and you paid all this money into disability. Now, you know what you're going to get on disability is typically like maybe no more than 20,000 a year.
My father was on it. Yeah,
I
know.
And that's terrible.
Awful.
It's not fair.
It's awful. Yeah. And hopefully, I won't become disabled. I don't where disability is high on the risk, but it's never zero. It's never zero. So yeah, let's see. Brandon Dwyer, shout out to Brandon Dwyer. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, if you like the game, just buy their next one. That's how I tip. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm giving you my money, I'm getting something in return. It's like these companies, like when you go to check out, it's like, oh, would you like to donate to the blah 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 fund? It's like, no, because I know you're going to take the tax cut off of my donation. No, you donate. Like I don't even do donate. Sorry, I donate directly whenever I do, but I don't do those. Would you like to donate to the children's hospital or to dogs rescue or something like that? I'm like, no, I tip directly to the charities I want to, because I know all you're going to do is write it off on your taxes and get more money, for your CEO while not paying anybody else.
You also have no guarantee that they're actually going to give it to them.
Yeah. HTK360 says tipping needs to go away, period. Give waiters and waitresses a normal wage. Done. Yes. Absolutely. I agree. Be like the rest of the world.
Exactly, like the rest of the world. Because the crazy Greek dude had mentioned earlier about how if we don't tip, then the prices go up. The rest of the world doesn't tip, and they pay about the same prices that we do for food. So no, it's just American greed.
It's corporate greed, baby. I've never seen a CEO take a pay cut outside of the Nintendo CEO. But like, you think McDonald's is taking a pay cut? No. I don't think the CEO has ever paid less than the year before. Just saying. What about the contractors? They have moved on and will not get any money afterwards. Yeah, that's right. What about after those developers leave? After they make a game, after they release a game, a lot of development studios don't need that many people anymore while they fire up their next project. So the layoffs happen. And if you tip, those people in the layoffs aren't going to get anything. So I think this is just a bad idea.
Probably not. And if it's not in their contract, then they not going to get it.
Shout out to HTK360. If a waitress doesn't get any Patreons, then they sit there for the cat's ass and make just a penny. Yeah. Yeah, and the Stone King says the rest of the world actually pay their employees enough so customers don't have to tip to cover for the employer. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Jago Cookin, I'm asking Monday at work if I can get tips for doing my job. Absolutely.
Good luck.
Yeah. Shout out to Star Traffic. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. Ibarra isn't at Xbox because as head of Mixer, he allowed a racist management to take hold of that created disinunity among coworkers. Mixer when jeans. Wow. That's interesting. Wow. Again, I don't know anything about that, but yeah, if that really happened, then yeah, probably good that him and Xbox separated. Let's see. I don't know about other restaurants, but we pay servers $15.29 an hour, and they keep their own tips. They make well over $30 an hour, including their tips. That's awesome. And it's good that you have raised the starting wage for servers, as It hasn't gone up in 20 years. It's fantastic that you're paying him that much. Yeah. Let's see. Crazy Greek Dude says, tip the FedEx guy if you want, but you don't need to, Terry.
But
and there's not even an option to.
First off, most of the time they deliver, I'm not home. And second of all, like I had mentioned in my comment, most jobs that don't already have a tipping culture thing built in, you can't tip them because they can lose their job. I worked at a job where back when I was in college, I had to load furniture for people who bought furniture. And I had people who would offer me tips because, it's hard work putting heavy furniture in someone's tiny little car that barely fits in. All right. So, and they would offer me tips, and I had to turn tips down because it's against company policy to receive any kind of tips or, things like that. And you can get fired for that stuff. So, no, you can't just tip somebody because you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad all the way around. And yeah, I agree with Dreadpool. We see companies file record losses and still end up with record profits at the end of the year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tax code is broken in the U.S. and it's made to benefit them. And, that's something way away from gaming, so we're not going to talk about it. But yeah, no, being an older adult, the taxes. So yeah. Overall, though, I think tipping. Hopefully, it never comes to gaming. If it ever does come to gaming, I'm not going to be a tipper. I'm just putting it out there. So if it ever comes to gaming, I'm just never going to tip. But that's the way we feel. So I'm not going to tip. Terry, you're not going to tip. Fastback, Are you tipping?
Nope.
And Clowns, are you tipping? Nope, no tipping. Nope. All right, but that's how we feel. How does the chat feel, Terry?
Do you ever wish you could tip your developer? 94% said no. I paid for the asking price. 5% yes, if I could. And 0% for the other ones for, take my money and only for indie devs. So yeah, so 94% said no. Tipping bad.
Tipping bad. No bueno.
It just got to show how to touch Makibara is with everyday gamers, people. He just has no clue, like you said. He just
Makibara. Shout out to Makibara though. Like he believed in full exclusivity. There's a lot of good things about that Makibara had on him, But this is just because you have 9 good ideas doesn't mean you won't have one bad one, and this is a terrible one. Just saying. Just saying. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move the show right along to something a little bit happier. Enough about the bad tipping and taking our money. Shout out to my wife who says, vote for Miss Terry for our governor. And she says, Ibarra believes in PC. That's right. He does. Okay, here we go. Moving on to something happier. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the Fallout TV show. It's fantastic. But Fallout has already been renewed for the 2nd season in California with a $25 million tax credit. Holy cow. Record profits coming in. But hey, you know what? Hopefully we get more scenes, more everything, because Fallout was made with Amazon money. None of that Paramount Plus money. It was made with Amazon money, and it looks fantastic. First off, Terry, have you seen Fallout?
I have.
And do you like it?
It's a good show. I mean, it's a good show. I do recommend watching it. It's not one that I would say is fantastic. I'm not like chomping at the bit for the next episode, but it is a good enough show to where I will continue to watch it. But it's a good show.
All right. Fastback, have you seen Fallout? And if so, what do you think?
Hold on. Yes, I have.
Oh, he's got the 76. Let me see.
Got the 76. And I had this back in the day when 76 came out. I played it day one, and I enjoyed it. I did. Me and the wife already binge watched the series, and we loved it. So it definitely was like playing the game. Just like, ooh, yeah, they got it. They got it right. Loved it.
They got it right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Carlo, have you seen Fallout, the show? And
yes. Yeah, I thought it was great. It took me a little bit to get into it after the first episode, but I think that Ella Purnell plays a great character in Lucy, and I think Walton Goggins does a great job as, the ghoul. I mean, the cast is just fantastic, and they play the role great. So let's give them some props there for that.
Okay. Yeah. I think the main character Lucy is a fantastic character. My wife and I are 6 episodes in, so we have 2 more episodes, and man, we just cannot wait to watch the next two. My wife, shout out to my wife, says I need Lucy's jumpsuit. Yeah, she needs that vault. Is it Vault 33? Vault 31?
33.
33.
He was
Vault
33, but they were next to 31 and 32.
Yeah. So she needs that Vault 33 3-1. Let's see. I still haven't watched the Fallout TV show. It's not a priority. And I watched the entire series of Fallout 4 times. Dang, that's
Wow.
a lot of time. Considering that's 8 hours. So yeah, wow.
Hey, so
Awesome,
if
awesome.
you're in Vault 31, I don't want to spoil it, but then you're the one asking people to tip the developers.
Vault 31.
You know what I
Lucky
mean?
Borrow got Vault 31.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
spoil
wow.
it. I haven't finished it yet. What I've seen is fantastic. Okay, and this is coming from a guy who has never played a Fallout game more than like an hour. So I don't know Fallout lore. I don't know any of that stuff. But man, what a show! What a show! The writing, the intensity. Wow, it's great. Yeah, you can't vote. Sorry, Jago. Sorry. It's fantastic. It's amazing. So it got renewed. It's a hit. It got renewed for $25 million tax credit. And as a Halo fan, I'm happy for Fallout, but as a Halo fan, I'm like, why couldn't Paramount do this? And it came out to they don't have the money. Like, there's a reason why Master Chief's suit isn't featured in the Halo TV shows, because that's extra money. Yeah, there's a reason why when there's battles with Master Chief facing a lot of the elites in season 2, they happen in the dark. It's because that's a lot of money. So yeah, this show was made with the Amazon money, and you can definitely tell because there is no dark scenes, no shadow scenes, none of that. And they pay total homage to the Fallout series, as they should. I think the Halo TV show, for what it is, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but this one is definitely better.
Yeah.
Definitely recommended.
I say we need to do a petition to move the Halo series over to Amazon.
Yeah, for real. Who?
Especially before Sony buys.
Yeah,
so
Sony's
I heard
about to
that.
buy
Yeah,
Paramount.
Weird
Oh
war for it.
man.
They're in a bidding war for it right now. They're trying to
Oh
buy it.
man, that's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Yeah. Oh, I got the cookie whips, the cookie things. I'm not clicking on.
Well, it's funny. Sony might do a better job doing, overseeing.
I mean, they oversaw the Last of Us. Who was he?
Yeah, they did. I mean, they
Last
know
of Us was pretty good.
Matt,
they know TV and they know movies. So
Yeah, Neil Druckmann oversaw the Last of Us, and it was fantastic. So yeah. So Fallout got renewed. We all recommend it. 9 out of 10 optometrists recommend Fallout, the TV show. Definitely see it, guys. We think it's fantastic. So it has been renewed, and along with the increased interest in this Bethesda. Oh, hold on. Let me do my stuff here. I gotta click no on all these cookies. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. All right, here we go. So Bethesda came out, announced that Fallout 4 is getting free updates. Woo! Instead of Fallout 5, we're getting more Fallout 4 updates. And they're coming in next-gen consoles. So we're talking the PS5, the Xbox Series S, X, and S. PlayStation 4 and Xbox Ones will receive some stability improvements, login, quest fixes, and stuff. And PC players are going to get the best of the best stuff, but some of the mods are breaking. But they tried to do it while breaking as few mods as possible. And Fallout 4 is moving over to the Epic Game Store. So, yeah. And Fallout 4 is also going to be Steam Deck verified. Every screen is an Xbox, baby. So, here we go. So, Enclave Remnants is also coming. Some more DLC for purchase. Here it is if you guys haven't seen it. Wow. I mean, look at this. This looks just like the show. Just like the show. It looks amazing. Let's see. Halloween Workshop. And other stuff. But to summarize, shout out to Twitter Shinobi, who summarized this article. And this coming April 25th, so it's not out yet. Fallout 4 upgrades include performance, mode, and quality modes, increased resolution and 60 frames per second, stability improvements and fixes, PC widescreen support, and various free Creation Club items, the ones we just went over real quick. The Enclave Remnants, and the makeshift weapon pack, a leaf blower. So the makeshift weapon pack and the Halloween workshop all coming as part of the free update to Fallout 4. Have you played Fallout 4, Terry?
I have. I played it and completed it.
Nice. And are you going to check out these updates or are you good to go?
I'm good. Like, I played it a long time ago. I'm sure there's a lot of DLC that I've missed, but again, it's one of those things I just don't have time to go back.
Okay. Fastback, have you played Fallout 4?
Yes, and I forgot about the main story. I got lost. I forgot to go find my kid. So I did not finish it, sadly, but I'm on this kick since the show, and I will, after I get done with 3, I'm going to go New Vegas. I'm going to jump back on 4. And then, of course, I'll get back on 76 and play with friends and so on.
Nice. Carlo, Fallout 4, getting the next-gen updates.
Yeah, I think it's good to bring more life into an older game, and I think that it's a perfect time with the Fallout TV series. The hype is real, and the game is I beat the game and I loved it, so I'm excited to get back into
So
it.
my wife wants me to play Fallout. After seeing the show, she's like, I want to watch you play this game. Which one should I play? Fallout 3, Fallout 4, or Fallout 76?
I'm really enjoying Fallout 3. I didn't play it back in the day when it came out. So I do like the story. It still looks good, and a lot of just so many funny moments, so many random stuff you come across. I love it.
So for me, Fallout 3 was my favorite out of all of them. But Fallout 4 would still be a good one to start with, just because it'll have more of an updated, for like gaming mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be different because that was the first one where they added like building. So you could build like your own outposts and stuff.
Yeah.
So the other ones didn't do that. So I guess if that's kind of more your thing, I think you will enjoy 4 more. But
Actually,
if that's not your thing,
mixing, Terry, I don't know about that.
I don't know. So I mean, if you're not into that, then I would recommend people maybe try 3 first.
Yeah. Which one would you recommend, Carlo?
I would say Fallout 4.
Okay. Fallout 4. So there we go. That's the one I'm going to play to my beautiful wife, Luis Vian. That's the one I'm going to play, Fallout 4. Let's see. Let's see. Jago Coogan says, well, the Halo TV show needs that dang Amazon money, dang it. How are you going to do my boy Master Chief that way? He deserves more respect. Yeah. Chrissy Greeton says, Halo needs to get away from live action. It needs to be animated. Hey, that's not bad either.
Yeah, we love some animated.
Yeah. Happy Cloud Gamer says, I'm a Bethesda fanboy, so I will watch it. My wife says, season 2 Halo is good. It was really good. Much better than the first season. I will say that. Dog and Dog says, I wouldn't play a Fallout game even if it was the greatest show I ever saw. Fastback, I'll let you read your own comment.
Yeah. So the reason why the Fallout series is a little better because we got more cheeks than Master Chief's helmet. Hey, that was cheaper to pay for than paying for.
That's right. It was cheaper to show us the cheeks than to put on a uniform.
Yeah.
You notice in season 2 they did absolutely 0 nude scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no cheeks in season 2. Yeah. Let's see. Fallout 4 is fun. Been going back into Fallout 76, but Fallout 3 and New Vegas is the best.
Yeah.
And my wife says, Mr. Fastback said 3, so maybe she wants me to play 3. Okay. All right. So, these free updates are fantastic. I think this would have been even better if Fallout 5 would have released, as Fallout 4 came out, like 10 years ago at this point? What was it? What was the Fallout 4 release date? Let me look it up.
2015.
Fallout 4 release date. 2015. So yeah, it's been 9 years. Almost 9 years since Fallout 4 came out. And Fallout 5 would have been better, but you know what? Free updates and people downloading 3, 4, and 76. Hey, that's fantastic. Shout out to, I saw someone say, Chair Walker says, maybe the Fallout 4 update will allow PlayStation players to play the DLC on PS5. Is that official DLC or mods? Because official DLC should work, right? Right? Or am I wrong on that? I don't know.
Official DLC?
Yeah. Does official DLC not work on PS5?
I thought it
I'm
did.
unsure, but if it doesn't, they need to fix it. Yeah, they definitely need to fix that.
I don't know about the mods, but
Yeah, mods mods may or may not work
Xbox
even on
Live
PC.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, mods are always like there. I'm a little sad that Fallout London isn't coming to consoles. It's PC exclusive at this point. It got announced. Fallout London, you remember we talked about it, Terry? It's coming only to PC and it's basically a whole new game. To Fallout 4. So I don't know if you guys have heard about Fallout London, Carlo and Fastback, but it's PC exclusive, and it's going to stay that way. It looks like.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, yeah. It was something like 70 gigabytes for the mod, and the consoles just don't have the memory access to do it.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah. So Cheryl Walker says you didn't see that Fallout 4 was crashing on PS5, and they recommended removing the DLC for the game as a solution. Dang, that kind of sucks. Not gonna lie, bro, that sucks. That sucks. Sounds to me like they need to get an Xbox and come over where everything works. Just throwing some shade. All right, so Fallout 4 coming in, but that's what we think. What does the chat think about the TV show, Terry?
So we got 72% say it's the best one ever. 18% said it's not in the top 3. 9% says it's the second best, and 0 said third best.
All right. So Terry, do you think that Fallout 7, the TV show, is the best, not movie, but game to TV adaptation there is, or is something else taking its place?
I
And
voted that it
TV
was.
can be animated or live action. Okay, TV is anything.
So I vote that it was the best, just because there aren't too many game adaptation TV shows that I actually like. So this is the first one I actually watched an entire season of. Most of them, they can't even grab me on the first episode. So for me, this is the best one.
Okay. All right. So Terry, this is the best one. Fastback, where does this one rank for you?
So far, the best one. I mean, like Terry said, I can't recall another game to TV series.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we just really enjoyed it. My wife never played the game, and she really enjoyed it. So, to me, it's the best.
All right, Carlo, where are you at?
As far as the best
No, the
Fallout
best
goes,
game to TV adaptation.
oh man, this is tough because I think the TV show took something from all the games.
Mhm.
To be honest, like there was Fallout New Vegas, there's Fallout 3, there's Fallout 4 with the Red Rocket gas station. But a lot of the people that are currently playing the games, they're saying that Fallout 76 is the best translation because there's items from the show into that game. I've heard that from multiple people. So maybe Fallout 76 would be the best, closest viable option.
I'm sorry, Carlo. Maybe you misunderstood me. I meant of all the games that have been made into TV shows, do you think Fallout is the best one? So Last of Us, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever has been made into TV shows.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did misunderstand.
It's all right.
Sorry about that, guys.
Still a good opinion.
Wow, this is a tough question. Splendiferous is in there with Sonic. He's
Sonic. So I remember Sonic the TV show. I remember Mega Man and Mega Man X the TV show. Obviously, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. When I was young, those were awesome for me. As an adult, I have things like obviously The Last of Us is on there, up there. Halo, I like it, but I don't think it's better. Yeah. But then I'm thinking, what about Cyberpunk 2077 Netrunners?
That was another good one. Yeah, man, there's so many good ones.
The animated one.
Are we counting animation?
Yeah, we're counting animation. We're counting anything that has been translated to TV show.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's Castlevania.
Oh my God, Castlevania was so good.
Oh man, see, you dumped us in a rabbit
Yeah,
hole,
so
Axel.
yeah,
Oh,
if we're
a
looking
rabbit
back
hole.
at all like the animated stuff from our childhood, then that's going to be different. I feel
It's
like
an
most
TV show. I said include everything.
I know, but I feel like most people when they were voting, we weren't thinking about stuff when we were kids.
Like Pokemon. I mean, those were good series.
No. But I don't think those were game to TV shows, were they? Those were
Well,
card
they
games
started
to
off as
TV show.
games first, and then they
Maybe.
card
But I know
games,
like
video
stuff like
games.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles won't count as that's comics to TV. So
Well, it
yeah,
went from comics to games, video games, and then TV, right?
yeah. But the IP has to be a game IP. How's that? We'll restrict it to make our choices a little smaller. Game IPs to TV.
I'm going. If we're gonna say the best, and we're gonna say the best translation, and we're gonna look at longevity, I would have to go with Sonic.
That's Sonic. There you go. 2 Sonic fans. We got Sonic from Splendiferous. Shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP if I haven't said it. And he says he has been on TV the longest. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Right. Yeah.
Captain Lou is still the best Mario. Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 was fun too, but I am hyped to watch it after Star Trek Season 5. I don't want to know there's a huge swath of viewers who were completely unfamiliar with the Fallout universe, which also led into its popularity. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to know. Sorry, I don't know. So you guys knowing now the requirements, do you want to change your answer, Terry or Fastback?
I don't know if mine counts though, because the one that I would pick, technically, the TV show and the video game were made in tandem. One wasn't before the other.
Are you talking about Quantum Break or what?
Defiance.
What is it?
Defiance.
That was a decent series. I'm glad.
I really enjoyed the show,
I
and
did too.
I played the heck out of that game. I loved
did
it.
too.
So-
Yeah,
I've
So
never heard of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
so,
was
like,
a
You
good
need to
one.
do an indie spotlight on it.
Yeah, that's worth watching.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it kind of. I mean, because one wasn't before the other, I think it kind of
Yeah,
counts. I'm gonna
concurrent
say
releases
Defiance.
should be fine. Yeah, concurrent
Yeah,
releases.
because they made the show and the game together because they wanted to have them interact with one another. So
Yeah, and chat, let us know what you think is the best game to TV adaptation. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Fastback, do you want to change your answer?
No, I'm sticking with the Fallout. I did enjoy the Last of Us. Both me and the wife enjoyed it. But I didn't play Last of Us in a game, so wasn't as exciting for me. But it was good. This, because I played Fallout, it was more enjoyable for me. So for me, it's the best adaptation.
Mm-hmm. From an animated side, I want to say maybe Netrunner, Cyberpunk 2077 Netrunners, or Castlevania were the best.
Yeah, they were good.
Those were the best. But from the live action standpoint, I think Fallout is hands down the best live action adaptation. So if I had to put Netrunners versus Fallout, I'm going Fallout. I'm sorry. It just I love Cyberpunk 2077. It was a fantastic game. It's a fantastic series, and hopefully it continues to grow. But I just feel like I'm connected more with Fallout. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Let's see, Diego. If you watch the Last of Us TV show, you basically played the game Fastback. I've heard that. Yeah. So yeah, there you go, guys. So Fallout. Doing great, and that's our thoughts on Fallout. And I think that's going to do it for today's topics. Anybody have anything they want to talk about that I haven't? Nope, that I didn't bring up. All right, and I think that's going to do it for our show today, guys. But before we go, Clowns, tell everybody where they can find you.
Everybody, you guys can find me on 4GQ TV. We haven't really been doing the weekly shows right now as we're kind of shifting some of our focus into doing film festivals and celebrity interviews, but we're coming back with everything. It's just taking a little bit to get everything reorganized. But find us there and check out the interviews.
And he does have some great interviews, guys. Fastback, tell the chat where they can find you if you want them to find you.
Well, you can find me on X and Xbox and as Fastback6768. And you may catch me guesting on this show and NOG once in a while.
Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. And again, thank you so much to both our guests today.
Yeah,
you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming in last minute notice. I know I asked you guys late yesterday, so shout out to you guys for making the time for being here. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324.
I'm coolcatterri.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.